Today we have with us Christian Seeley, who's the managing director of AXA Millésimes, which is the world's second largest insurance company. It's a French company, and they've diversified into all sorts of things, including wineries.
Well,
8 now, right?
Yeah, well, AXA Millésimes belongs to the AXA Group, which is the large insurance company,
Nice.
and is a division specialising in the ownership of great vineyard properties and the management of those properties. And my job is looking after those properties, trying to make the greatest wine each year that the property is capable of producing. And well, I've been doing that for some years now.
And doing it well.
Well, I'm enjoying it, and it's the kind of job which is huge fun to do. It's something that you can only do if you really love it. I don't think you can make wine if you don't have a love and a passion for the product.
Now I'm going to ask you a difficult question.
Okay.
Of the 8 wine properties, is there one that's a favorite?
Well, I'm not supposed to have one really, a favourite, but I have to say that the truthful answer to your question is that it is Quinta de Noval, because that's where I started. During the 1990s, I started doing this job at Quinta de Noval, and from 1993 to 2000, I lived at Quinta de Noval, and I lost my heart to this very beautiful place. And the Douro Valley is a wonderful, beautiful place in itself, but Quinta de Noval is particularly so. And the experience of living with this vineyard and working on it during that time, and doing the work that was necessary to bring it back to life, meant that well, I ended up falling a bit in love with the place. And although I'm now based in Bordeaux and at Château Pichon-Baron, and that's not a bad place to be either, I left my heart in the Douro, and I go back there very often.
So you make an English sparkler.
Yes, I do. Now, this is actually not an AXA Millésimes property. This is my personal adventure, and I started this with as a 50-50 partnership with an old friend of mine called Nick Coates. And the reason I did it was that what I've learnt working in Portugal and in France, in Bordeaux and Burgundy, is the importance of place in a wine. That if you have a great vineyard site, then you can make a great wine with a great individual personality. And there are places in southern England which have a geology which is almost identical to that which exists in Grand Cru Champagne vineyard sites. So chalky soils with a bit of clay mixed in. And the vineyard that we've planted in a little valley in Hampshire, it has a geological profile which is exactly a Champenois profile. And I planted Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, and we built a little winery, and with a lot of help from consultants from Champagne, we've been making English sparkling since 2009, actually.
How's that doing?
Doing really well. It's a fun project. We're up to 55,000 bottles a year now, and
really?
Not only are we making it, we're also selling it. This is also a very important part of any wine
I would
project.
Guess so.
And the wines are thrilling because they they have a quality which is perfectly equivalent to champagne quality, but they have a personality which is slightly different because it's normal. They come from England and not from Champagne. But I think that we can actually make world-class sparkling wines in England, and it's great fun trying to do that.
That would be a fun blind taste, I would think.
It's a really fun blind taste, and I've done it a few times, and you just put it in a lineup. Normally, although it has, as I said, a different personality, people do not automatically find the Coates and Seeley in the middle of the champagnes, and we don't necessarily come top in the tasting, nor do we come bottom. But if you come somewhere in the middle of a tasting of various champagnes, and you've only just started a few years ago in England, then you're doing pretty well.
I would think so. I would think so. Congratulations. That
Thank you
must
very
be
much.
a hoot.
Yeah, it's really good fun.